Okay, we're glad everybody's tuned in to we got a special guest, and he has been working, with government, military. He's a veteran. He's got a nice-looking jacket for the Marines. Now, only a Marine can wear this jacket, and he'll show it as well, and we want him to introduce himself.
So I'm here in Ringo, Georgia, where I was last here. I was pulled over by a state trooper along the highway saying that I was supposed to pull over 25 feet while he was arresting people out of an emergency vehicle. When I got to court, I was carrying a federal law with me. It's called the Great Man Law. You can find that Congressional Globe. Had some minutes to Congress. Page 39 Congressional Globe, page 38 and 41. Starting the third column is great. Where a Marine is a federal judge and attorney general. Signed by Congress, vetoed by the president, and overruled by Congress because they said something very terrible. They said, we, the 39th Congress and the citizens of the United States, can't protect ourselves no more. They made a great man out of a Marine, Army, Navy civilian. They require only one come forth. And when I do come forth, a Marine, we will be immune from all crimes, including murder. Can't be sued. And when we rule on judges up to the Supreme Court of the United States, they have no appeal. So the court here in Ringo agreed with me. I was immune. And I thank you, Ringo, Georgia, for allowing me to do that. So I'll move on. So now, what do I do? No, it's pretty scary to do that job. It takes a person with a lot of guts, willpower, and courage. So if you don't know me, I'm an international celebrity. You add all the videos up and all the people who touch me. I got about 12 million followers. Hey, I'm a songwriter, record producer, movie maker. Did it all for free. Didn't make no money. And my songs, Christmas song, Come Christmas. Brand new one. Show you kids. I wrote Sing America, the Beautiful. Then I took Tennessee Supreme Court ruling that I got when I was in the higher court decisions, where I asked, can criminal court hear my case from Chattanooga City Court? No, I'm sorry. City limits. And advising of myself, they said all cities, courts, and section court have no attorney general. Cities are civil, and they can't do punishment. I said, Judge, they have attorney general and they have guns. They shoot us. Can't you stop them? They said they didn't have authority to stop them. They have appeal court. And so is the Supreme Court in Tennessee. They have appeal court too. You can't go there with a first generation case. You have to only go there by appeal. Only a public official can go there first generation. So to summarize all that means everyone who ever got arrested in Tennessee from the city limits is false arrest. So what about those people out there that shot their wives? Now, the U.S. Marshal in the old days used to come and get people who kill people. But when the 10th Amendment came, the state took over it. But our Constitution says they can't arrest no one in the city limit. That's all 223 cities, which now they all overrule the Supreme Court, Tennessee Criminal Court, and the state constitution for money at gunpoint, which I tell everybody that's slavery. So we talk about slavery, we have to look at the amalgamation proclamation, where it says, that once a Marine, always Marine. What does that really mean? But in there it says the United States government, the military, and Navy supposed to maintain and recognize a first person, and no action stop them. That's how I made this badge. With authority that no action stop me. And it says on there, I'm a great man. Freedom Bureau Agent 007. With all the attitudes of 007.
So what you're doing, you're boasting up the Marines that they can be treated.
This is the highest award a Marine can get.
Yeah.
But they never gave it to us because we would be their boss.
Yeah.
And also we would know that they invaded our country. So most people wouldn't know about it, but I just know when I took my oath, I took it to a Republican Republic, and then I had an opportunity to go overseas. I didn't go, but had the opportunity. But a lot of people had the opportunity to go, and they went and died. But they went into a Republican country.
Yeah.
You know what we did to them? We killed them to make them a democracy, and not one person ever taken over to democracy. So when I was famous in 2010, I'm still famous, I hosted the Yin Yang Twin concert. 35,000 people chanting my name. Man, I was really high that night. Not on alcohol or drugs, but on the idea that 35,000 people were chanting my name. I'm sorry, Yin Yang, I didn't really like your music. Too loud. I could dance to it. So I found myself, I was dressed in Abraham Lincoln contest, Abraham Lincoln outfit. My wife was Mary. I found myself on the outskirts of the party, and I was standing on the military park that goes around the capital of Tennessee. Do you know what the first thing you see there?
What's that?
You never visit that? And you as a boy or anything?
You talking about Nashville?
Yeah. No, you've probably been if you're in Georgia.
Yeah, well, I've been to the Capitol, and I've been in the Capitol.
Yeah. The first thing you see there is a 12-foot Greek soldier. He's made of pewter on marble, a lot of marble. Then you got those other two statues there. They're only 3 foot and 5 foot. I call them the best soldier in the nation. Me, Force Recon Marine Group, SEALs, Green Berets, and paratroopers. But they only came alive during the Vietnam War. I became alive in 1774.
You know, all these statues that's been taken down of great men, great women, they have disgraced this country by taking all the statues down of great men that helped build this country, presidents, and I just don't get it how that a country can despise those that gave them the freedom. I don't understand it. I don't understand people that wants to destroy the history of this country. And we should keep these statues remind us of the past and the things that if hadn't been, like Martin Luther King. People talk about Martin Luther King. He done this. He don't know. He done that. He was a bad guy. Well, whatever he done in his personal life didn't have nothing to do with what he did for the African American people. And I'm talking about Lincoln. I'm talking about Jefferson. I'm talking about all the ones that wrote the Constitution.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Jefferson, because after today, you're going to think different about him. Because you said he wrote the Constitution.
No, I said he was part of it.
Yeah, he spearheaded it. He wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. In there it says, all states of the Union supposed to be a republic. No in-cave government should exist in any state. But there is.
Yeah.
In every state. It's called democracy. Then, 2 years later, after he wrote that, he became a Democratic president. And democracy wasn't even here in our country. So you say, where did it come from? Well, if we listen to the Alien Sedition Act, 1794, I think it was, it says, media, you better not report anything that's going on here. You're all going to go to jail for 20 years without a court date. Crap, if I was a newscaster, I wouldn't say a word, would you? 20 years, not a court date? But one person did come forward. His name was Benjamin Franklin Couche, the grandson of Benjamin Franklin. He thought Benjamin Franklin was a traitor because not only was he a Mason, he brought a French soldier here who actually turned out to be, because Greece invaded France 5 years earlier. Because now that Frenchman is now a Greeceman. And that is why we have a Greek soldier in our military park today. So I mean, the invaders are still here.
Yeah, I know.
Now, and this is not a, when I say conspiracy theory, it's not a conspiracy theory whatsoever. I have black and white proof. I got the Alien Sedition Act. I got the U.S. Congress saying they were invaded. They didn't know by who, but they said by the now dominant party. And they also said the law stayed in place until a republic. So some of those statutes, like in the Civil War statutes, that was after the invasion. So actually, basically, the North and South, the South fought the invaders. Well, but again, they all turned out to be Democrats in the South, so they're part of the invaders too. So in a sense, all those statues need to be torn down, because no one ever read the book, media never reported, and thanks to this TV station, they're allowing me to broadcast this over America. And I say right now, God bless them. Thank you.
Yeah, and tell everybody, we was talking earlier about you doing some shows on, Glenn Beck. And,
okay.
I mean, you've been a guest on a lot of different shows, and everybody in the, in the news media pretty well know about you.
Yes. I was on Jimmy Kimmel after my song, after I said, let me rephrase. When I ran for governor, I said a couple of phrases that were very enlightening to people. One was that just stop cutting the grass along the road and letting it lay and die. Just put real grass there and process it and make gas out of it.
Yeah.
And now no one really knew what I meant, but a lot of people said, let me plant grass in my backyard and I'll make it. The reason I said that was back in 59, a guy invented a wash machine that washes cannabis, marijuana, and turn it into gas. You could buy it for $300. But DuPont was doing the same thing, but millions of dollars. They went to Washington and outlawed it. Even the rope, the rope we used to pull those big ships in, the one that the rope that
I know what you're talking about. The make ropes.
like a super strong guy who's went in the New York River there and pulled the ship. Mighty somebody pulled the ship with those rope. You can't have them no more. Yeah, so then I was on Glenn Beck. I was on Comedy Central, and Howard Stern.
Yeah, I'd like to get Howard Stern to do a show with him.
Yeah, we need it. Howard Stern, if you hear this TV station wants you to contact them, and I'm going to send them to you. Maybe you can talk about me and other things.
Yeah, me and him will have a good time together, I'm sure.
So move the story on. So let's talk about our United States flag. As a Marine, they told me if I was out camping and I found a flagpole there over a 100-foot cliff, and the flag breaks off and falls into the ground over the cliff, they want me to jump off the cliff and hit the ground first, catch the flag so it doesn't get desecrated. But when that colonel said that to me, I was a scout driver for the general and the colonel. I was standing there amongst other recon Marines, not force recon, but regular recon Marines belonging to the division. And they all looked at me. And I said, "Hey, Colonel, I'll jump off a cliff right now. You just give me the order."
Yeah.
He said, "Are you an idiot?" I said, "No, I follow orders." He said, "You come see me when you get back." So when I got back, he says, in my 25 years, no one ever said that to me. He handed me a guard arm on my shoulder here. He made me an E8, and I was only a lance corporal. Well, not in money, but in authority. So doing something smart is always good.
Yeah, I had a friend was in the Army, and they told him, they called him volunteer. He'd volunteer for everything. He said, we got somebody we need somebody to bear this cigarette butt. And he said, I'll do it. So he made him dig a big old hole, and he threw that cigarette butt and threw it back in that hole and covered it back up. I mean, he volunteered for anything.
A power song, they do the same thing for fleas. If you swat one and it dies, they make you put it in a matchbox and bury it. That happened to me twice. And then one of those times I had to dig it back up because I didn't say a prayer. I had to rebury him and say a prayer first. So they have weird things to intimidate you and make you a better man. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm definitely a better man than I was when I went in. I love the Corps.
Yeah. And I know you run for governor, senator, mayor, a lot of stuff like that you run for. In politics, you've done that, right?
Yes. I ran for governor, I'll be 6 times. I ran for Congress twice. And I ran for Chattanooga mayor, Hamilton County mayor, Tennessee, 3 times. Each time I ran for mayor, Congress, and I also ran for governor all at the same time. I like doing things no one ever did.
Yeah, me too. Same way. I like goals that like this TV station. This TV station is a goal for me to do something that somebody else don't do. I had an Italian friend used to tell me you got to have a niche. well, this is my niche. We can do a lot of stuff here that people won't do. And then, and it's based on freedom of speech. It's based on, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or you're independent, it's based on your opinion. Not necessarily that we would go along with it, but see, you have that freedom of your opinion. That's what this TV station is about. A lot of people don't sign up, to our YouTube channel because they don't understand that this is their freedom of speech station. This is their hope for the country with their voice if they'll use it. And we got emails. I mean, you got a website, right?
Yeah.
And you say,
hey, 13 years after I got famous, I'm still getting hundreds of emails every day, and from citizens say, "Hey, you're great." So it impresses me that after 13.
he kind of reminded me of a friend of God. His name is Jeffrey Mark. He's an encyclopedia of the movie business and the entertainment business. You can ask him anything. You're an encyclopedia with the government, about the government and the laws and all the things that you have studied, and you're kind of like an encyclopedia to somebody that asks you a question. You got the answer. What I'm saying, because you've been in it a long time. And
Yes.
you've been doing it.
I've been doing it since 2002, maybe before that I didn't vote, but I was driving down my car down Dodson Avenue, that's over in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they pulled me over at the light there and told me I was in drug area. Do you have it marked? Do you have a sign that says this is drug area? I said, I'm 4th-Recon Marine, and I thought drugs are everywhere. That means I can't leave my house?
Yeah.
But he put a gun to my face and pulled my Navy SEAL from the car and beat the crap out of him, black man. So everything I do here, since the day I started, I do them for my friend, the black guy. And the law that I carry with me, the Federal Law 241, the 40-acre mule revised in 1866 by the 39th Congress, said that this great man is the guardian angel of the state Negroes. But I'm also a guardian agent of the Americans too, because they're a minority. Because when you go to jail, you see more black there than you see white. And one time I was there, they had one black guy in a glass cage, naked, where everyone see him. That makes me even more angry than I was the day before. But I was glad I went to jail, just so I could see it and tell people.
Well,
But every politician I talked to over the 23 years, no one ever fixed it. They say they do that so he don't commit suicide. Well, I said, well, that's okay. Put the cage over there in a room and have a guard sit there and watch him. Not every citizen that walks through the door, right? So
yeah,
that's some of the things I do and think about. And
some of these rules and regulations, some of these jails, they look at the prisoner like this: you're a piece of crap. It don't matter what color you are. It ain't just black people, white people.
everybody.
I mean, they look at you like, like I'm arguing with my wife over here
the domestic violence.
Okay, we're just arguing. And I'm out on the porch.
They'll take you.
Yeah, well, I'm out on the porch, and they tell me go in the house. And my shoes was untied, and there's two officers, they will call them officers. Now, I mean, you got bad police, just much you have good, more bad than. And I defend the police department on a lot of stuff because they have to go through a lot of crap. And they are in danger every time they walk out the door because of sick people out there. I mean, to put war on the police, but I told and the two other cops pulled up, and they pulled up, and they told me it's too late. You can't. I told the officer, I said I got to tie my shoe, and I been down to tie my shoe, got up, and they run up there and grabbed me by the arm and said, "Oh, you're going to jail." I said, "Well, I just tied my shoe. I was heading inside." And so they knocked me down on brick, and of course I don't hate them. I don't hate the cops because of that. They're just two punks. They weren't cops, they're punks. They knocked me down on the ground, and they hit me in the ribs. I mean, they're beating the crap out of me. And one of the cops said, he said, I got blood on me. I said, "You SB, you ought to die." and I thought to myself,
They gave you another charge.
You know what I thought about telling him that? I thought about telling him, "Hey, I got AIDS." But, I didn't, of course. But they put me in jail took me out of my own yard. I went to court.
Without a warrant, too, probably.
They took me to court over that. I had to get a lawyer. And he was the cause of all of it. And the judge asked him, "Well, do you think do you want him to pay for your, you want him to pay for your shirt?" And he said, "No, I don't want him to pay for my shirt." But his shirt got torn. And I thought to myself, well, I mean, I'm in my own yard, and I can't. And on the way to jail, these two punk cops telling me, "Shut up." And I told them, "Man, you have no right to do me this way. I was cooperating with you. I was nice to you. I respect you. And you talk to me and you do me this way."
So, well, that happens all over the whole country. Now, I quote Supreme Court ruling. Like when a gay went to see if another gay man can kiss him in the Supreme Court, and gave him something they can get married and have kisses and all that stuff, adopt kids, all that stuff. They listened the next day. But in Knowles versus Iowa, it says, looking for crimes at a traffic stop violates the Constitution. If you can't find evidence for speeding in the car, you can't look. And then this statement said, they cannot find evidence for anything to do with traffic stop inside the car. So that means every lawyer, every judge across the state of United States is elevating their middle finger to the U.S. Supreme Court. And nobody can arrest them because they're all immune. So cops, like I found myself now, like at Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, city cop. For the last couple of years on town, you're not a police department. You cannot do punishment because the Supreme Court said so. And you're only process servers without a gun. You can't shoot no one. So they shot 3 people since I told them that, which would be murder, so to speak. No, it is murder, because they're not supposed to have a gun. They can't do punishment. The judge there at Saudi Daisy, he won the Supreme Court ruling that they used in my case, City of Chattanooga versus Davis, Chattanooga versus Myers. All said cities are civil. No, they can't do any punishment. Maximum $50 fine. First offense $5, $10, $15, $25, up to $25. Then it goes to $50. At the end of the year, it starts all over again. Because Title 6, Section 24 of our code, of the Constitution, says we didn't want the cities and the counties to make money because they would take people's substance for their own good. And that's exactly what they're doing. Over in the Tennessee Supreme Court, Tennessee Constitution, Tennessee Civil Court of Appeals, and Criminal Court of Appeals. They overruled Knowles versus Iowa in the U.S. Supreme Court. But also, in my ruling, they used another case called Florida versus Walter, W-A-L-L-E-R. Yeah. That says once the city arrests you for ordinance, the state can't come in and do anything. But they don't listen to that either. But if we actually read the Constitution, like on Trump, they use the Constitution, Section 3. Section 3. It says there, it says there that in Price, U.S. versus Price, that driving through that Price case, that's when in Alabama, when the sheriff took those 5 people and got citizens, and we took them outside in the woods they had white masks over the face, and they hung them. So they used my law, Federal Law 241 and 242 there. But they never mentioned me, either party, either side. But they did say driving through the states is a right. But they say it's a privilege now, which means they give you they have license, insurance. Insurance, that's a moneymaker. Let me touch on that for a second. They force us to have insurance. If we don't have it, they take our license, make us pay reinstatement fees, pay lawyer fees. But the Insurance Act of 1920 says if you don't know the person who's going to get the check when you pay your premium, it's gambling. I don't know how Georgia is with gambling. I'm sure it has to be approved by the citizen. But in Tennessee, we don't have gambling. So they're forcing me to gamble, pay the premium. So I asked you, how could I know the address and name of the person they're going to give the check to when I have my accident? The day I pay the premium. Is there a way? There is a way. I'll take you off the hook. There is a way. You insure yourself.
The insurance companies are.
You insure yourself.
They're the biggest crooks I've ever seen.
It's our legislators that let them do it and get passed laws to do it so they make money so they win office. Okay? Because see, by doing that, they also violate another federal law that says, let me just put it away. If my host here, I knew he was dying of cancer, I'm going to go this afternoon and I'm going to get insurance on you. Can I legally do that? When you die, I'm going to take $1 million on you. Yeah. Can I legally do that? I'll take you off the hook. Yeah. No. You cannot insure anything that you're not physically connected with. So the car behind me, the car beside me, or anywhere around me, I'm not connected. I don't even know who they are. So the whole it's all about taking our substance, and then they turn around and give it to campaign people to win office. That's that part of the story.
What about the border? What do you think about the border? What's going on with the border?
You mean Mexican border?
Yeah.
Mexican. Well, I have to say this. President Burr was being impeached for treason. And the reason he was being impeached for treason was because he was bringing people in from other countries, putting them in houses, feeding them, and giving them money to vote for him. Now, the border today is exactly what Burr was doing. Madison saved Burr by not voting to impeach him. President Madison. He was senator then, I think. After that, they became best friends. Yeah, so every country needs to have control of who comes through.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's an invasion. Especially when you're talking 100,000 a week.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I talked to a congressman, Colton Moore. I asked him about that. Didn't Joe Biden say he'd protect us when he was sworn in? Didn't he say he'd protect us from any invaders or any foreign invasion?
So my answer to that, the law that I carry with me says a great man is a federal judge of all courts, up to the Supreme Court, including. It also says these great men are judges of boundary lines. TVA, Army Corps of Engineers. After 6 years, I'm talking to them. One worker at a time. I don't know which one did it, but someone did. Got the southern border of Tennessee moved at Nickajack. And now at the line that used to be Tennessee is now Alabama on their Powerhouse Road. So if a Marine is a federal judge, no, I say if he is a federal judge, stays in place until a republic. So if democracy is bringing people in from other countries, well then that's an invasion in my book. So I have no money to get there, but if you have a group of Marines that has guts, they can join my force one at a time. We can't be a mob. We can be only one can speak at a time at each location. But back by, so we can go over there and order that thing closed to back the way Trump had it to stop the invasion. Now, if it goes on TV and it blows up, that might be the answer how we can fix that. Because it says when a great man rules, there is no appeal for any grievance party, and that includes the President of the United States.
Yeah, I think the border should be handled like this. It should be a wall put up, just like this played. It needs the wall needs to be in a situation where if they climb the wall, there's a price to pay on that wall. You know, maybe something that would cut them or whatever. Now, that might be cruel. You might think it's not to me.
Do you know what you do with invaders? You shoot them.
Well, of course you do.
So the only thing you have to do is take a laser beam across the whole area there. And if someone breaks the laser beam, the automatic weapons start automatically. Now, let's hope we never have to do that. But if they know...
We really can't do that on account of children. See, children...
They're still invaders.
I know. Well, they're being drug across, and the cartel, is sent a lot. And
they had that same problem.
I understand.
They had that same problem in Vietnam. But those children carried bombs,
I agree. But what?
carried bombs and killed our soldiers.
Yeah.
So when you're in a war type situation, that's where we're at now. We're in a war situation because they're invading our country. They're going to come voters and they're going to vote for democracy when we're supposed to be a republic.
Yeah, but you know,
Fly a flag that's not right,
I
and
know it's
and the red, white, and blue is dying.
yeah, and I agree 100%.
And they put that gold around our Christian flag too. And the Christian flag guy who made that said, Christian flag can never change its colors. But the invader put the gold around my Christian flag too, which is
I like the original. I like the flag that was made from the beginning.
well, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
That's your watch flag.
but my point is, it's like the police department. I can't judge every cop by one.
Well,
And let me finish. I can't judge those people that beat me up, the cops that beat me up. I can't judge all the policemen because, but you know, I can say somebody needs to make sure that this don't happen again, and the judge should not take up. He should take two parts. He shouldn't accept every word that, and you know, the biggest problem about people when they get pulled over, they try to be big, they try to stand up to the cops instead of just going along, going with it, and go to court later and take care of it. And but getting back onto the borders, I think they should be sections of the border, and it could be controlled that people could come in here, but not like they're doing now.
so many a year, like we normally did for 223 years. They only let so many in at a time. Let them wait 10 years to get a green card, become a citizen. But they're going to do away with all that so they can be on the election next time around.
I got that. That's exactly what it's all about. I understand that.
And then they send these people in the cities and forcing the cities people like here over there in our place on Chattanooga, making the city take my tax money to support them.
I know it. I hate it. I really hate it.
It's a total invasion of my constitutional rights, my right as a free man of the United States. Me, even though I know Thomas Jefferson brought it here, made him a traitor. And hate to say it, every Democrat in the United States would actually be a traitor today. They need to take it over to a republic and stop this madhouse. Or maybe I can take this opportunity and I'll order it under my federal law. No more democracy. Everyone had to take it over to a republic and a republic. And the parties would be, well, Lincoln. What was Lincoln time? What was the parties at Lincoln time? You know? Well, I'll help you out.
He was a Republican, man.
Back then, well, he was Republican, but the parties were actually, because we were supposed to be a republic, the parties were moderate and radical. And neither one of them is on the ballot today.
Yeah.
So when he got shot, so did our parties. And that was in what else? That was 60. That was 18. What year was that? Here. Then a couple. That was 1862. Maclamation. Died right after that. I probably in 63 probably. In 66, my law was passed. My subversive law of the land. What do you think the word subversive means? Is that they say the Constitution is supreme law of the land. Is subversive higher than supreme? Hey, I'll give you an answer. To police the Constitution, you have to have a law that is above it.
Well, and
above it.
Yeah, well, I want to bring this up too. Now, you talk about, Abraham Lincoln. When Abraham Lincoln, we did an AI on Abraham Lincoln, and I asked him a question, and he said the tax money was for the country, it wasn't for other people. All the tax that was collected from the American people was to be used for the American people. It wasn't collected to send over to.
Yeah, millions of dollars.
It wasn't collected to send over to, and I back Israel, but it wasn't collected. I believe there are countries, these countries that know they're about to be invaded, they should get them a war chest and quit taking it from us and let us. And I believe in helping. I mean, I believe in helping African people starving and all that, but I don't believe in supporting a nation that knows they're out to go into war and they have not get their build up their military to be able to now to fight that war and let us come in maybe and help them. But for us to finance all their wars, we don't need to be doing that.
So that's when the other week, President Trump said that he will not send them any money if they don't pay us the money they already owe us. See, if you go to my website, you'll see JFK tab. That was signed in effect in 1962. The State Department invited the United Nations to New York, gave our land, allowed them to put their flag on our land. And I haven't found anything where the Congress approved it. It's funded through the State Department. And in that agreement, it's called Disarmament of the World in 100 Years. They said the first phase would be give police military weapons. Well, they already did that. Second phase, they're going to make world cops. Third phase, they're going to have tanks at the bottom of our driveway and take our guns.
I don't doubt that a bit.
Now, the question here to you. What country is going to be in charge? The United Nations charges of the whole thing, but who they pick to stand in back? What general from what country was standing in back of the tank?
I'd say China, maybe.
Well, I'm glad to tell you, you're wrong. Russia.
I don't think Russia's a threat like China.
Well, if Russia kicks them people over there now, and keeps moving on, I'm just telling you, this law was signed by JFK. Then when he did his speech in Texas, and I know this because I was listening to Talk Radio 102, had a guy on there who wrote a book about JFK, but before he did, he went down there to the university and talked. And what he said was, people I work with right now is violating the Constitution. In 100 years, there won't be one. 4 hours later, JFK was dead. Now, I watched the video of the wife picking the brain matter out of the boot and trying to put it back in his brain.
I was watching TV when he got shot.
The wife picked the brain matter up out of the boot and tried to put it back in his head. That means he was shot from the front and not the back. So, it had to be. If the CIA has too much power, those little groups, they don't have to ask Congress for anything. They got money, and
you know a person that jumps off a cliff, when somebody jumps off a cliff and they start falling, they can't turn around and go back.
Yeah.
America jumped off a cliff.
Yep. And they don't even know it.
They know it.
Well,
they got plans.
I'm sure they don't know the story I know.
I mean, the people don't know it.
I want everybody to read the minutes to the Congress from 1774 to now. And it ain't the same history that I got in college or in Mel Gibson, because Mel Gibson didn't tell us that Greek soldiers were French soldiers, and then French soldiers. That story, Benjamin Franklin, after the war was over, he went to England to sign the peace treaty. Why? We won the war. We should have signed a peace treaty at Matas. But when we left England and America was a democracy, and France gave us, established both of us, the Statue of Liberty. So basically, if we tear down any statue in my book, it has to be the Statue of Liberty, because France, the Greeks, invaded us. Because you can go look at your own military park, and I'll bet you 50 cents you'll find a Greek soldier at your park just like at mine. That means Caesar, Napoleon, and the Greeks are here in our country, and they call themselves Democrats, who forces Republicans to be a traitor, while the other one's an invader and traitor.
I got a will of my own, and if I'm a Republican, I stay a Republican. If I'm a Democrat, I'll be a Democrat.
Well,
And I mean,
if you remove it, the Democrats, democracy wasn't here in 1774 when the Constitution was written, and the word democracy is not in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights anywhere. So, if we were here, they would have mentioned it. It's all about the Revolutionary War. What did that first soldier die for? And they were fighting for a republic. If we're not a republic and a republic, one nation under God, now we're two nations under God, because if you go and look at a Webster Dictionary in the 1700s, 1800s, and say, look up democracy and republic, they say it's a nation and not a party. And so if citizens never knew it, they can't vote. They only can vote for what's in front of them and love it. But if they knew they were invaded by democracy, they probably would change, because that's not the party that the Congress wrote, and they wrote in our Constitution a two-party system. Supposed to be a republic with two parties, and not two nations. So I have anything else to say? I talked about the flag and with guns.
well,
do you have any more questions?
I want everybody to be sure to go to your website. What's your?
Yes, I want everybody to go to my website, Basil Marceaux 007.com. You can email me at Basil at Republican in a Republic.com.
Okay, Neil.
And I want to thank again this television show for having me here today. I hope I'll come back and give you a second segment. And God bless you all. And I always close to say, have a nice day.
Well, and I'd like to say this too. We appreciate you coming, and you're welcome back. I mean, I enjoyed the show, and we'd like for you to. We're gonna give you a copy of the show. You're gonna, if you'll put it on your website, they can watch it on your website. Plus, you'll be able to watch it a lot of places.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I have it.
But
so
we'd thank you. You got something? What else?
Yeah, maybe I can throw this in. You know, what I do takes a lot of money. So my address is on my website. I want you all to send me a money order. So it's not tax deductible. I'll pay tax on it. And so I can put billboards up across Tennessee and back here in Georgia. I want Georgia to fight more for the land, come over to East Division arrest someone who violates the Constitution and vote in Tennessee and not in Georgia on in 30-foot parallel. But we'll probably make that the next segment. So goodbye, citizens and wife. I love you. She couldn't be here today.
Okay, and we thank you for turning in talk. Now we will invite our guest here back again. May God bless all.
To join the conversation, call 706-935-TALK. We are talking live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all of your favorite streaming platforms.
Thanks for joining us today. To watch this show again, be sure to visit talkinlive.com. We now have Roku and Amazon Fire TV channels for you to watch from your home TV. Or find more of our recent shows on most any of your favorite social media platforms. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, world. We will be talking live with you next time.
Yep.